Hello?
Hello, you're on the call. We're not started just yet.
Okay, thanks, Tracy. I wasn't sure. Appreciate it.
No worries.
This meeting is being recorded and or transcribed.
All right, you ready to go, Chris? Tracy, we good? Jeff's on the line? Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. We will now call the June 3rd, 2020 Board of Works and Safety to order. I hope no one minds, but I'm by myself up here, and I'm going to take my mask off so the people on the phone can actually hear what I'm saying. But I appreciate everyone here masking up today. It means a lot. We'll go ahead and commence with, I don't believe we have any announcements or presentations. Is that correct, Chris?
That's correct.
Just for the record, Jason Meyer is not on the line as a board member today. He was unable to make the meeting, but we do have Jeff Lance as a board member who is on the line here today. So we will go forward to the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Jeff, second by Scott. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving forward to resolutions. We have resolution 060120, request to approve Mad Bomer fireworks contract. Sarah Sanquist, our Parks Director, will be presenting.
Hi, Sarah Sanquist, Director of Parks and Recreation. Before you have an agreement to approve for Mad Bomer fireworks for a variety of fireworks shows that are happening this year. It's a blanket contract for a couple shows.
Any questions for Sarah, Jeff?
No.
I want to thank Sarah and her team for making a unique and special opportunity for our seniors over the last weekend. On Friday and Saturday night, we were able to utilize some of Mad Bomer's works, and we were able to provide a graduation opportunity for seniors out at Conner Prairie. I also want to thank Conner Prairie for their cooperation. So great job, Sarah. And at this point, I will entertain a motion to approve the Mad Bomer contract.
Motion approved.
Seems funny saying that. It's just an odd phrase. I will second that. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Next is Resolution 060120A, a request to approve supplemental agreement number 2 between the City of Fishers and A&F Engineering in relation to the trail construction from 106 to 116th Street. Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor, Director of Engineering. Before you, this is work that is
through the relationship with A&F to extend the limits of the trail just south of 106th to also just north of 131st Street. With the relationship with A&F, they wanted to get a jump start on the design of that so that we could have it ready for an execution of notice to proceed with the current contractor as it was bid. So before you were requesting the supplemental to be approved.
Any questions for Jason?
No.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion?
Motion by Jeff, second by Scott. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Next is a resolution approving a nickel plate district construction waiver and considering an application thereto. Megan?
Thank you. For the record, Megan Baumgartner, Director of Economic Development. This is a resolution for a specific construction waiver within the nickel plate district. Since we have so many various projects going on right now, all working at the same time and several in the pipeline, we've asked for the council at the last city council meeting to review the noise ordinance and allow for a change there, but ended up deciding that coming back to the Board of Public Works and asking for a specific construction waiver process was the right way to do this. So we have asked for a specific waiver to be put in place that the entity that requests the construction waiver would need to be able to demonstrate through an application their substantial need, provide their construction schedule, and then also demonstrate the residential communication and engagement that they've had with residents in the nearby areas that might be impacted by it. Also, as part of this, we have our first request, which is for the SPF 15 project. Chris, should we have them come up and present first? Or?
Yeah, I would like to, if at all possible, if there's a representative of the petitioner here to explain the efforts that they've gone to meet the spirit of the ordinance as well as take care of the residents given the circumstances. If you could just state your name for the record, I appreciate it.
Certainly. Craig Cook with Browning Construction. Well, we appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you guys this morning, representing the SPF 15 project. As you know, since we mobilized in October, most of the focus has been on the office building right along 116th Street. As we quickly are approaching topping out the office and turn our focus more towards the garage frame, we're asking for approval to pour outside of the normal working hours. I see you scrolling through the packet, so you have all the background information in front of you, but I would like to give you just a quick overview. It's really the design of the parking garage and the mixed design that requires the off-hour pours. Parking garages, since they're open air and exposed to the elements, often utilize a rust-inhibiting additive known as DCIS to prolong the life of the garage by protecting the reinforcing and the post-tension cables that are in the concrete. The DCIS mix does not react well to direct sunlight or warmer temperatures. Seeing as we're going into the summer months, we're requesting to pour this at night so we can limit our exposure to both of those things. The packet contains a number of different attachments, a logistics plan, a pour schedule, basically where we're going to set up, how we're going to flow the trucks, where the concrete pump trucks will set and move to from pour to pour. It gives you a lot of background information on the different types of equipment that will be utilized. And then most importantly, I think, is the neighbor outreach. So there's a number of different pages included in the packet that talk about our efforts to going out and connecting with the neighbors. We've connected with both commercial and residential. This packet highlights those efforts with the residential neighbors. Primarily to the south, I guess exclusively to the south of the project, we focused on South Street, Moore Street, and Emmanuel Court. We had 16 neighbors that we knocked on doors, provided pour schedules and logistics plans for. We talk through the process of what to expect and when to expect it, and then how we would go about notifying them and continuing to communicate with them if and when that information was going to change. At that, I think I would just open it up to any questions you might have that I can help to answer.
Before we turn it over to questions for you, I do want to have an opportunity for any residents that are here or anyone affected by this that would want to comment. So if you could have a seat, appreciate it, and then we'll ask questions at the end. Are there any residents that would like to air their concerns or comments at this point? Seeing none, I will ask Jeff Lance if you have any questions for the petitioner or Megan or legal counsel.
I don't know if I have questions so much as I have, I guess comments or feedback, particularly as we, as the city grows and these kind of initiatives become a little bit more commonplace. Quite frankly, Exhibit D to me was a little borderline offensive with respect to the standpoint of it. It was suggesting that there was going to be extra cost because of the noise ordinance, and my comment and feedback to the petitioner and anyone that comes forward in the future, I think it's their job as a contractor to understand what the requirements are and the limitations are up front. And if they have concerns, those should be addressed in the RFI or the RFQ process. Those should have been identified as an alternate opportunity going in advance, and these things should have been considered up front. So while I understand the issues and the concerns, I don't think that they were a surprise. And I'm willing to consider this adjustment. I appreciate the fact that they've reached out to the neighbors, but going forward, these are things that I don't think the city, because the suggestion is that there was going to be a change order issued to the city for the amount shown in Exhibit D. And I would have taken huge exception to that, because I think that's something that should have been addressed up front. Because the ordinance hasn't changed. It's not a surprise. It was there before. So anyway, that's my general feedback as we move forward and continue to look at these kind of opportunities in the future.
Thank you, Jeff. My only comments would be the following. Been in close contact with Tom Dickey, who we've asked to supervise or oversee all of this, and I also consider a lot of the players involved friends and people that I know, David Becker, Jeff Hagerman, people that have long been very involved, very active in our community, and just knowing the caliber of those individuals, the lack of communication to residents, the lack of coordination with residents, the lack of consideration for the residents is not reflective of who those two individuals are and the way they'd want to see a project done. I do appreciate the effort that's been done to try to work with the community now, but we know this is going to be a long construction process moving forward. And my expectation would be, before we ever get back to this table again on any issue, is that you guys will address it with the same spirit and the same effort that you have over the last week or two, and work with our residents to ensure that there's quality communication and consistent communication moving forward. I agree with Jeff on the noise ordinance. Those were the laws before. They will continue to be the laws. I do understand and appreciate the fact that this is a dynamic situation and we're continuing to grow and develop our community, and we want to work with the business community while balancing the rights of each and every one of our residents. I do see there's advantages from a city perspective of getting this done at night from a traffic perspective, so I do appreciate that, and that's something we take into consideration here. And the safety perspective, that we try to keep as much of this activity off 116th Street during peak times during the day. And the only reason, frankly, I'm considering this is the action that has been taken to work with the residents to identify ways to mitigate the impact on those individuals, as well as balancing that with the safety of our residents. So with that, I will make a motion to approve this waiver. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Aye.
Moving on to item 9. It's a request to confirm an emergency purchase. Is this Mr. Gaynor?
For the record, Tracy Gaynor, Director of Information Technology for the city. Before you is just some follow-up paperwork as many staff are aware, in April, we started to experience some issues with our network that were fundamentally a result of some antiquated end-of-life equipment that was beginning to fail. And being that it was end-of-life and out of warranty, out of support, we really didn't have options to get support to correct the issues. This did, unfortunately, as staff is aware, it did create some repeated, thankfully brief, but repeated service interruptions. Working with our normal vendor who is on the state QPA to provide this type of networking equipment, we were advised by legal counsel that it was okay to treat this as an emergency purchase in the interest of getting the network stabilized and running properly prior to the next Board of Works meeting. So before you is the attachment of the purchase that was made. It is on state QPA, and the vendor innovative integration that we use is a state QPA vendor. Happy to entertain any questions you may have.
Well, I don't, go ahead.
The only thing I'd add to that is, you know, when we talk about emergency purchases, the threshold is to go out and receive quotes and to look at things. The comment that I'd make for the board is, this is unique in the sense that the price point that Tracy was able to obtain from this vendor would have been more than likely the exact same price point that we would have gotten on a competitive basis. Innovative is our approved retailer or reseller for this equipment. They are QPA listed with the state Indiana Department of Administration guidelines, so the price that is offered isn't able to be obtained anywhere else. So we would have made a special purchase to obtain this equipment during the normal processes had it not failed when it did. So I think we can rest assured that we had that to fall back on as well.
I get the impression technology just didn't want to be left out of everything else falling apart in
It was
2020.
wonderful timing
so
with the
might as
pandemic
well
going
jump
on.
in and
Originally, we hoped to purchase this equipment next year, put it on the budget ask, and obviously the equipment didn't want to wait that long.
it's 2020. All right, is there a motion to approve the special purchase?
Motion.
I will second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Chris, are there any additional agenda items?
No additional agenda items. Only comment, since we moved this meeting, we do have a board meeting on Monday, the 8th as well, so we'll get back into our typical cadence from that.
I do appreciate people's consideration during this time for moving the meeting to today. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I will second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.